Well, what's going on, Cardinal Nation? Well, what a wild game here today. This game had a little bit of everything, honestly. We hand on and winning this one 10-9 against the Cincinnati Reds as we take 3 of 5 from the Reds on the road. And yeah, this is a wild game, particularly in the late innings. And we were up 4-0 through the first half of this game. Reds rallied for 5 runs in the 6th inning. And we came back to take the lead in the ninth and nearly blew that lead in the ninth, too. So this is a wild game, a nail-biting win. Another one-run victory, which we've had so many of those this season. And yes, we would take a 1-0 lead early on in the top of the first, as J.J. Weatherholt would be hit by a pitch, and Jordan Walker would drive Weatherholt home to put us up 1-0. Mike McGreevy was on the mound, and a very fine start from McGreevy, pitching in the 6th inning, but through the first 5 innings he was looking really solid. And the Cardinals then take a 4-0 lead with one swing. In the top of the 4th, a 3-run home run by Jordan Walker to put us up 4-0. Walker, who homered last night, but it was kind of too little too late. Even though we had the tying and go-ahead runs on base in the ninth, Mason Wynn would ground out, nearly actually beat out an infield hit. Came up short last night. And this is the 27th home run of the year for Walker, who is likely on his way to a 30-homer, 100 RBI season. Same for Alec Burleson. Those two, that combo has been just outstanding all season long. And yeah, so a comfortable lead for Mike McGreevy. But in the bottom of the 6th, the Reds would cut the lead to 4-1. RBI single by J.J. Bleday. That was off of Ryan Stanek. McGreevy was actually charged with 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 4. And in the bottom of the 6th, with 2 outs with the bases loaded, Stanek facing shortstop Matt McLean, and McLean with a grand slam to left field. And so just like that, the Reds would take a 5-4 lead. And yes, that was definitely frustrating, as Stanek was just a strike away from getting out of the inning and keeping the Cardinals on top by 3. And instead, the Reds would take a 5-4 lead. So, still 3 innings to go and only down by 1, hoping we could keep it at that, and we would do just that. 2 scoreless innings from the newly acquired right-hander Peter Strzelecki, who was attempting to go for the save on Monday night's game, but unfortunately would have a blown save. And in the top of the 9th, the Cardinals down just a run. Jose Fermin pinch hitting would have a leadoff single. Then Brian Torres was hit by a pitch on his hand, had to leave the game. Mason Wynn would pinch run for Torres. And Blaze Jordan would fly out for the first out, and then Everson Pereira would strike out, so the Cardinals down to our final out. And it was up to J.J. Weatherholt, and Weatherholt on a 1-2 pitch would fly out. However, a costly fielding error by the Red center fielder Dane Myers would allow 2 runs to score, and so 2 gifted runs would give the Cardinals a 6-5 lead. And yeah, so a crazy turn of events, up 6-5, in what should have been the final out, and a Reds win for the Reds. We would then go up 6-5. Ivan Herrera then be intentionally walked to bring up Alec Burleson. He would have a RBI single to put us up 7-5. Then back-to-back walks by Walker and Josh Bias. That would put us up 8-5. And then Jose Fermin up for the second time in the inning would drive in 2 to put us up 10-5. So hoping it would be enough, not a save situation anymore. George Soriano was on to try and close it out. He would walk the first batter, then a strikeout, and then another walk, and then a strikeout. And so just an out away, and then RBI single by Eugenio Suarez to make it 10-6. But then a walk to Ellie De La Cruz would load the bases, bring the tying run to the plate. So a rough inning for Soriano in the ninth, 3 walks. And so it was up to Riley O'Brien to try and close it out. And instead, on the first pitch, Sal Stewart with a 2-run single to make it a 10-8 game with now the winning run at the plate. And 2 runners on, and he would walk J.J. Bleday to load the bases again and bring up Tyler Stevenson, who was 0 for 4, so facing a guy who was 0 for 4. However, Stevenson would take a walk on 4 pitches, so that would cut the lead to 10-9. With the base hit potentially winning it for the Reds. So obviously those extra runs in the ninth turned out to be huge. And Matt McClain, who hit the grand slam on a 2-1 pitch, would fly out to deep right field, caught on the warning track by Walker. So Walker saved the game. And would give the Cardinals a 10-9 win. So what a wild turn of events. 10 total runs in that ninth inning. And yeah, what looked like, honestly, what should have been a really tough loss, and, would have lost 3 of 5 to the Reds, the last place team. Turns out to be a nail-biting 10-9 win. And yeah, it's just a pretty happy, even though that, stressful inning in the ninth, with 5 walks, 2 by Soriano, 3 by Soriano, 2 by O'Brien. But O'Brien would close out for his 33rd save of the season. So 4 RBIs for Walker. He now has 94 to take the lead in RBIs for the Cardinals. So, but a wild game as we now head to play the Phillies in Philadelphia tomorrow night. First of 3, that will be a huge series. We are 2.5 games back of the Padres for the final playoff spot. 1.5 back from Arizona, who ironically the Diamondbacks will face the Reds in Arizona beginning tomorrow night as well. So, Peter Strzelecki picks up the win, his first win as a Cardinal and first win in the majors in over 3 years. June of 2023 with the Brewers was his last win. So also now Sal Stewart has the major league lead in RBIs. A rookie is now past. Actually, now has passed Jordan Walker for the most RBIs in baseball. Yeah, so wild game, maybe the craziest game of the year thus far, which we've had quite a few of them. So, anyway, till Friday against the Phillies, have an express saying, go Cards.